Even though the venom in a swooping evil's neck could easily wipe out hundreds of wizards, it was completely helpless against the Niffler and its ability to teleport. These nearly extinct magical creatures had been thriving under my care, but who would have guessed that their habitat was hidden inside a suitcase?
Come on.
Jacob thought it over for a moment, then followed me into the case, but thanks to his hefty build, he got stuck at the entrance. With no other option, he started hopping around while holding the case, only to slip and tumble straight down. Once Jacob steadied himself, he noticed two billywig insects hovering around him. These creatures with wings on top of their heads may look harmless, but one sting from their venomous stingers and you'll find yourself floating in midair. I told Jacob to sit tight while I prepared an herbal remedy for the Murtlap bite. Then I quickly sliced up some raw meat for him to hold, while I extracted venom from the swooping evil. This yo-yo-shaped creature has a taste for human brains, but once tamed, it becomes remarkably docile. Not only is it useful for surprise attacks in battle, but when properly diluted, its venom can erase bad memories. This was Jacob's first glimpse into the wizarding world. He followed me out of the room with his jaw on the floor. There in the sky was a massive creature. I explained that this was a thunderbird I had rescued from Egypt. The whole reason I came to America was to release it back to its native habitat. After feeding the thunderbird, I called over the last remaining pair of Erumpents in the world. The golden horns of these creatures can be used to make antidotes for rare poisons. If I hadn't rescued them in time, Erumpents would probably be extinct by now. That's when Jacob realized that every space in this magical menagerie had been carefully crafted with magic, all to provide comfortable living environments for these extraordinary creatures. Take the little fellow in my hand, for example, the Bowtruckle. They only live in trees whose wood can be used to make wands, and they're natural-born lockpickers, which makes them incredibly useful. Just then, I noticed the Niffler's nest was empty. That gold-obsessed little platypus had escaped again. I had to pick up the pace, so I sent Jacob to tend to the gentle moon cows while I carefully fed the large carnivores. But right after Jacob finished feeding the little ones, a blast of freezing wind swept through. In the snowy landscape before us, a mass of swirling black smoke appeared, contained within some kind of barrier. Jacob seemed to lose control of himself and began slowly drifting toward it.
Step back. Step back.
I explained that this extremely dangerous entity was called an Obscurus. They occasionally form inside young witches or wizards who are forced to suppress their magic under extreme circumstances. While granting their host, known as an Obscurial, uncontrollable dark powers, the Obscurus also feeds on them, draining their life force. That's why Obscurials rarely live past the age of 10. I had just finished explaining the Obscurus to Jacob when I discovered that the largest creature in my case, the Erumpent, had also escaped. Considering that this female beast was in heat and therefore extremely aggressive, she could cause serious destruction in the human world. I asked Jacob if there was anywhere nearby similar to the environment I had built for her. We needed to find those escaped creatures as quickly as possible. With Jacob leading the way, we headed for Central Park, but along the way I noticed that several shiny objects nearby had been swiped clean. I followed the trail of dropped gems and sure enough found the Niffler in the middle of a heist.